Okay, my name's Mark Straka. I'm down here on the farm that we lease from the wards. We have cattle down here. We have alfalfa hay growing. This is our livelihood down here. And when OTA started this mess, the surveyors came out here on Pennsylvania and wanted to come across the property, and I told them no, because there was a liability factor. They couldn't come across here until they paid for what they had to have, because I didn't want somebody getting hurt. So this went on for about a month and a half, probably a good month and a half. Finally, Mr. Todd came out and with Nancy. Todd didn't stay at that time. Nancy came out with a bunch of people, and they wanted to walk it out, the engineer and a bunch of other people, and they parked right over here on the gravel drive, and we walked down there, and they wanted to get in the creek to drill some holes.
Was that Todd Gore?
Yes.
Okay.
And so Nancy was working for him and said, we'll need to talk about this a little bit, Mark, but we just need to walk down there. And so we walked all down there. We met down here and we walked down there, and at that time the engineer made a comment that they need to go in the creek and set some tin horns, and I said, no, you haven't paid for nothing, and you're not coming on this until you pay me for the lease money. And he goes, well, we can pretty well do what we want to do. And I said, no, you're not, big boy. So we was walking back up there, and he goes, well, I'll have to cut the chains and locks because we're coming in here. And I said, no, you're not. I said, you're not going to come in here. This is a federal offense if you cut chains and locks, guy. You don't know the law. So after that came about, I told Nancy, I said, you need to leave. I said, you guys are way out of your boundary. So right after that, Nancy came back, and I told Nancy, I said, you know, integrity is the most important thing a person can ever have in their lifetime. And I said, Nancy, I know you work for them, but you cannot lie. You have to tell the truth. And she kind of got upset with me because I told her that in front of everybody. But when she came back, I told her, I said, I hope you understand that, Nancy, because you work for them. Well, after that, Todd came out with Heather, pulled right up here to the barns and said, we want to settle this deal. And I said, well, not until you get done taking care of this situation. And he goes, well, this is the amount of footage we got going across there, and we want to go clear to the river. I said, I got the lease on everything. So Todd began to negotiate with me, and I said, I run wheat pasture cattle. That's a dispersal for more. They disperse their water out of here. Curtis, am I not right? It's supposed to be 98% pure water?
99.
99%? Okay.
99.
And what's the water for?
They don't need it.
They just dump
It's
it?
their disposal water from their
Treatment plant.
treatment plant is what it is.
Okay.
And it's been running down here for years. They first put it in and made the big pitch to the farmers and everybody that it was pure water. They could irrigate with it and all this and that stuff. And the acidity and the alkalinity of the water about ruined this farm because it had a pivot irrigation on it. And it took about 3-4 years to get it back into production because of the acidity and the alkalinity that was in the water. Man. So it can't be 99% pure.
Wow.
And I would consider those to be contaminants.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider it to be pure water. I farmed this farm since 2001, 2000, right in there, and run a lot of cattle down here. Never had any problems. There was never the kind of sludge that is down here now. Never. You could see the sandy bottom. So it is a problem. And I met down here with the officials of Moore. Don't remember who all was here. It was the assistant city manager and maybe their other little people underneath them and stuff.
Robert.
Yeah, and you know, they didn't have anything to say. They wouldn't say anything. They just him-hawed around about everything they'd done. And they knew it was a problem when they come down here and looked, but they didn't want to address it.
You got to understand, this is not in an area where inspections are pulled. This is in a no man's land.
Right.
And so they pretty well can just do what they want to do down here, and they don't have to have anything.
Well, they're going to tell you, and they do come down, and they do pull water samples.
That's right.
They do that, but they pull them. Nobody from the state, nobody from the environmental people or anything. It's all they do it. So what they do with it or how they test it, you know, we don't know. We don't know. They come down here and check it. We don't know what they can say anything.
And so this is a result of the pipeline that OTA's built for the city of Moore.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she called the EPA. She had
the DEQ.
The DEQ come out. The little lady threw her hands up and said, "I can't do nothing about this." So you need to see this before we do any more talking, so you know what we're up against.
All right.
This is a good place for you to film right here. See all that sludge in across there? That was not in there. This has just happened in the last 2 or 3 or 4 years.
Wow. Oh my God.
It's not something. Right here is what it is. If that ain't human feces, I ain't gonna say what I'm gonna say on video.
I can bleep certain things out.
And this is worse.
Good Lord.
And you can smell it all the way down through there. Every place there's a tin horn, it gathers. All along the bank, cattle walk in that crap to try to get a drink. There's only 2 inches of water and the rest of it's all human feces. I went across it with hip waders and it come to my shoulders. And she washed me off because I didn't want no more part of it.
Wow.
And I think they're dumping this stuff at night.
Well, so these great big tin horns.
Those great big tin horns, they're going to put that waterfall right there up there by the barn, where them silver posts are at. And with the smell, it's going to permeate the barn, and therefore, that haze inside that barn is going to stink. And I asked the city of Moore, when they come out here, Robert and everybody, when it got done, please move it down to the west and back to the south a little bit, or north. That way we can get it taken care of.
Oh, there it is right there. Oh, man.
And then a lot of times they completely turn it off.
Ooh, can I walk over there next to that thing?
Yeah, there's a gate.
Back up. And when we get hard rains, it's going to overflow into the pastures and we're going to have a major problem.
So this is where the water comes from.
This is where the wards gave them permission to take the water from there.
Okay.
So that they could dump it on all the things. That's my understanding.
Okay. Looks like it's got a little bit of a crack in it.
Yeah. Watch your foot.
All right.
Now, if you've ever been to a wastewater treatment plant, you'll see that their water is just like this. It's not fresh water like they're saying they're dumping in here. It's like this right here. And the city of Moore, when I worked up there as an OG&E employee, this is what it looked like. They did away with a lot of the I call them their ponds. All right. But on a hot day, this thing is completely filtered. I mean, it's full of human feces. Okay, now you can see right here, you can see all the stuff that is gathering right there.
You don't want to get down on the
Yeah,
end.
be careful though.
I'll do my best. Hope they did a good job of building this. Oh man.
And on a hot day, OG&E owns this. Moore don't own this, OG&E does, Oklahoma Gas and Electric. And on a hot day, they shut everything down. Everything's down. And then when this goes low, I have nothing but feces across it, just like you filmed over there.
So what's the relationship between the city of Moore and OG&E on this?
They're selling water. Moore's selling water to them, and they cut out the wards on the deal.
To the Newcastle plant right over there?
Yep, where the stacks are at.
Yeah.
And you can smell it. If you smell, you can smell the waste.
Oh, I can smell it. Holy smokes. Wow.
It pretty well speaks for itself, guys.
Yeah, it does.
It pretty well speaks for itself. There's no getting around it. If I put hip waders on you, you could go out there, and if you look real hard, there's only 3 inches of water. The rest of it is all human feces that's settled in the bottom. I've dug calves out of this, live calves. And you don't think that ain't fun, getting that stuff all over you?
All right.
You know, Robert come out here, right over here, and the assistant manager, Karen, Mr. Ward that owned it, and we talked. And he goes, Mark, here's the $1,000, $10,000 for y'all to clean it. I said, I cleaned it 3 years ago, got rid of the mud. I said, in 3 years, it's twice as bad. And I said, what are y'all gonna do about it? He goes, all we're gonna do is give you 10,000, Mark. He goes, but you know what? You're a farmer. You can get away with a heck of a lot more than we can because we have to go through the red tape. Right then, when they offered us the 10,000, I knew they were guilty. Guilty as sin.
Who's Robert?
Robert got, I'll think of his name here in a minute. I've known him forever. But he's over the water department up there.
Works for Moore?
Yep.
In the city?
Yep, he's the manager. Pistow, Robert Pistow. That is the manager up there that I said that, Robert Pistow. My whole thing on this whole thing is we've gone condemnation, got an attorney, cost them the attorney fees and everything. And the court appointed their commissioners to get things done as far as condemnation goes. The commissioners have come back with their proposals, and we can't get OTA to make an offer. We can't get OTA to say, okay, we're going to take care of it. And this has been going on for about 8 to 10 weeks. And it's time that they take care of this thing, or this whole thing needs to be just stopped. Because they're not treating the people right. They're using that condemnation law to their benefit, not to our benefit. It rained 2 inches out here. There's no sand blowing. But when the sand blows, this farm right here, out here, was solid brown. You could see the sand. When this man behind you that just spoke, he cut my hay. And there's sand coming out of the backside of that swather, that self-propelled swather. And he called me and says, this is not real good. So we had to cut about a 300-foot swath in there that we had to get rid of our alfalfa that we sell because they ruined it, because they wouldn't water.
I think you were going to point out some of that equipment too.
Going to.
That deal is, this condemnation deal,
Needs to go away.
it's not right. you know, let's be fair with everybody. Let's be fair with whoever's doing the condemnation, both ways, not just one way, but both ways. And this is 2026. This is not 1990
or 1910.
Okay. And that's where we're trying to get with it. But Gore's lying about a lot of stuff.
There needs to be something done. And I don't know, you know, attorneys, they want to take money and everything, they want paid and all this kind of stuff. That's
Then we
fine,
don't get nothing.
But we're not getting anything. I want to be compensated. I want to be done with it. I'll move on. Let them do whatever they need to do, and we're through with it.
So you worked for OG&E.
34 years.
Were you guys talking about this pipeline when you were there?
No, I didn't know nothing about the pipeline.
No.
No. I didn't know nothing. My brother had it, and I didn't get involved in any of that.
I don't know when it was put in. It's been here since
60s,
back in the
what
60s, I think.
Well, now they're supposed to be building a new one for the city of Moore.
Yeah, this
Just
is the old
just
one.
on the other side of the.
Oh,
You'll see it. You'll
Okay,
see it.
Just on the other side of the turnpike.
all right.
No agriculture, no state department knows they've come through this farm. No state veterinarian knows they've come through the farm, or they'd be down here checking on cattle and what the sand's drifting at. And I'm fixing to call them because I got a cow out here you're going to video and you'll see. Because I thought she had walking pneumonia, and she ain't got walking pneumonia.
To close on my deal is, we're down here, we're honest people. We've been here and raised here, educated here and stuff, and we're trying to make an honest living, and they're not going to let us do it.
Mike is the
Right,
project
Crosshands.
manager of it.
Yeah.
Very nice man. He's been honest with me straight up. And when we started having sand blowed, I called him. I said, Mike, got to get water trucks out here. Your sand is blowing everywhere in the fields, on the grass. He goes, Mark, we're working on it, but our water truck is broke down and we're trying. Well, you would think a big company like that would have several water trucks they could use. So they kept on, and finally they got a couple water trucks running. Well, then the dirt company, 5Ls, they started running, and I mean sand was fogging. F5 was fogging this whole place, and I called them. We got a truck, but it's down. Every time I call, it's a truck down. And the winds are blowing, and he's seen it. Everybody has seen this blowing. I got video on all of it. And I kept calling them, telling them to wet it. That's all I asked. And we got us a problem. You're looking at the original fence line right here that OTA had us to build. And if you look back to the east, it's going to be on that side of where they dug the water treatment plant pipes. This was stretched in with wire. You'll see all this stuff up there that they got piled up. There was another cattle guard like this, and it was built just like that, according to Mr. Todd Gore wanted. And that's how we built it. And he paid for the welding, the gates, the cattle guard, and the fencing. We put it in on our labor, and he paid for it. This fence right here cost right at about $4,000, plus the cattle guards, which it's going to run about $5,000. They tore this out, and they destroyed the wire. They hauled it off, got rid of it. Now, I guess OTA's got more money than anybody else does, but we're taxpayers and we're having to pay for it. So they call a fence company in, and they said, well, the wards have paid, give us a 25-foot easement, and I'm going to unlock this gate so you guys can all see this. And the wards didn't even know what they were signing. They didn't understand. 85 and 86-year-old people don't understand that. There's the channel which Moore's bringing the water in for OG&E and this drop off. They put the fence in right there. They came around. You can video it all the way through. So I called OTA. Todd wouldn't talk to me. And I talked to another guy at the OTA, and I says, you need to get a hold of Nancy. You need to get a hold of Heather. That was the deal. You got to give me access to get to my barn. They come back, fence company, put all this back up, put the silk fence in, barricaded me off again. I called them and I says, I guess your communications really don't go very far, OTA. So finally, I got a hold of our lawyer, and our lawyer said, well, I'll get a hold of them. So now they're leaving that down for access for us to bring hay in and out, because we sell hay. So that's where we're at, and that's what they're going to rebuild, is this fence line all the way back up through there on that side. And that fence is going to cost, the fence company said this fence that they put in, $60,000. I don't believe that, but that's what they said. You have to get with the fence company. I'm not going to get in the middle of that, but I know what it costs to put it in. So they wasted that stuff. They got rid of all that. Some of that stuff up there's bent because they used a track hoe to get it out with. You don't pull stuff out with a track hoe. You take your time. So there you have it. That's what it's going to look like. And when they ran down through here, you could see sand fogging all the way down through here. And we're going to take you up and around the barn to show you what it looks like. All right. The sand is on this tractor that Don Ward's working on. And look at this. This is nothing but sand. Nothing but pure sand. And I don't know if that tractor's going to be any good now or not. With them heads off, he's going to probably have to rebuild that whole motor.
Oh, no kidding.
It's terrible. This here auger wagon. You know, look at the grain drill on top. You can see how the sand collects. Let me show you. Because I didn't have it covered. And that's my fault for not having it covered, because I didn't think they'd do this to me. But this grain drill cost me almost $60,000. And I'd be damned if they're going to tear my stuff up. See the sand fall. Get up here, look at it.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah, look at that. I'm going to show you some video here in a bit on my phone. This is how deep it is.
Wow. What happens when you pull the air filters on one of these machines?
The air filters ain't on this. Air filters are on them tractors.
On the tractors.
And I'm fixing to take you in the barn on them big tractors. The one that cost me $300,000 and the other one cost us almost $60,000. And I had to pull the air filters on it. And Karen, what did I spend all day on them, blowing them and washing them, cleaning them? And we still haven't got the sand residue off of them.
Is it the filters that have oil in them?
No.
Or paper filters?
No, they're regular filters that take care of the dust and stuff. They've all been changed out. They were dirty. I changed those regularly, and now I'm changing them more so because of this here.
Wow. All right.
These implements have not been used. And what I'm scared about is these are all self-sealing bearings on these things that are being used. And yeah, this equipment gets dirty. I'm not going to deny one thing, it gets dirty. But you can tell where the sand is at. You can see the sand. You can see the sand that's on there. Dirt's dirt. This is sand. I'm rubbing it off right there. That is sand. All this stuff's got to be cleaned up. That's the hayfield if you want to get a shot of it. Because we're going to go out there and I'm going to show you. That hayfield cost us almost $100,000 time I limed and put everything and worked all the ground on it to get it planted. And these people just fogged the dirt, just like that truck running right there. When it's dry, you can see the dust, but it was flowing clear over into here. And they don't care. They don't care. They've got to make so many loads per hour to make money.
All right, yeah,
Okay,
tell me about the crop.
Okay, I'm going to start right here. This used to be all in wheat until OTA went through. Todd Gore said I couldn't run calves over here because I couldn't run through where they were working. So he paid me off for 2 years here on this wheat. Well, it was just going to sit idle. Couldn't make no money off of it. So I turned around and me and Karen decided we'd put it in alfalfa. And putting it in alfalfa is work. You got to work the ground, you got to put it, you got to lime it, you got to have the soil tested, and you got to put a lot of nutrients in it. Potash, fertilizer, and then you go buy this seed, and it's very expensive. And by the time we got done with this, and I got all the figures of running the equipment and that, I had around 85,000 in this 100 acres. And it's been producing. But every year you got to put down fertilizer at the first of the year with potash to get it coming. But this ground right down here has got subwater in it that's 6 foot. These alfalfa, everybody knows anything about alfalfa, them roots will go down and tap that water. Last year we got 6 cuttings off of it. This year I'm hoping we get 7. But if this continues on, we're going to have to shut it off right down there at the oil tank batteries, and everything going to OTA is going to be theirs again because the sand is going to blow and we can't use it for cattle. And I've got all the hay right here stacked out of the way that's got sand in it. But this place is a good place for alfalfa, and it's our livelihood. We sell it. We sell it to quarter horses, people that go to the fairgrounds and watch these people with $1 million horses. They buy this type hay. So they can't ruin it for us. That's our livelihood. And they don't seem to care. They just don't care. This is where they dug the water line in. The guys that are building the road, they're wetting theirs. The contractor,
Sometimes.
Yeah, and then the contractor digging this sent me emails saying that they were getting water trucks out here, and they never did. This was on a Tuesday. He sent me the email. Friday, no water truck yet. And they use those big trucks to put their dirt up there. And you can see how deep this is, where them 2 pipes are going to go in there. Okay, where the red ribbon is at is pretty well where the old property line is supposed to be that OTA had me to build the fence line in. You're looking at it. And they're going to put this fence right here that you're leaning up against over there. They're going to tear and get rid of this, throw all this new fence away, and put new fence back over there. So they've destroyed 2 fences.
So this is where the water runs.
Yep. The new dispersal will be right down there that OG&E will have to take to their power plant.
So now you get to see what it looks like when you dig down out here. How deep you think that is? 10 feet? 12?
It's 12 foot.
12 feet.
Yep. Sand was going everywhere from Tuesday to Friday. We had hay down right here, clear across. This right here, this top of this alfalfa looked just like the top of that right there. It was solid brown. Solid brown.
Just covered with dirt.
Yep,
and
sand. You'll see it on a video where he's cutting hay and the sand's just fogging out the rear end of the swather. These people right down here didn't care a bit, not a bit. They don't care about our livelihood and how we try to make a living. It's what they want. It's all about the money.
Wow. Wonder how deep that sand goes.
Oh,
I mean, that's just sand.
Yeah, and that's what they built the road with, is sand.
Isn't there something in the Bible about building your house on sand?
I think there is. I think there is.
Okay, there we go.
This is 4th cutting hay right here that's fixing to be cut here in about 20 days. And this stem is very, very small. Horses love it. And we put this up at night. We put this up at night where the humidity is just right, where when we bale it, it's about 13%. And horse people go crazy over it because it's nutrients for their horses. And that's why we try to keep it clean. There's not supposed to be no sand on this anywhere, and there is. And you can see the dust flying on that truck right over there. But it's 5 times as bad when it's really dry.
Well, and windy. There's no wind today, and it's still
Right.
But this here right here is probably $320 a ton hay. Number 1 hay. And some of this won't be because of all the stuff that they're blowing in on us.
Wow. Oh yeah, we got it.
It's sad.
when it was cold, I would have to put my hoodie over my head to get out of the
Welcome to our world.
So this is the new pipeline that the OTA is building for the city of Moore.
Right. That is in on an easement that they have not paid me for yet. But Todd says he has, and my surveyor says no, it's nowhere on the paperwork, nowhere, and it does not show it. It shows the footage that OTA's got, does not show the 30-some feet that the wards have.
Wow. So in that big ditch right there,
yep.
there it is.
An angle across there that goes into that ditch. Goes clear to Moore Treatment Plant, clear across 35 Highway.
Yeah. Is that the one that they were gonna actually drill underneath I-35 to get to the other side? I saw those plans and I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, that's it.
God.
That's it. That's what they're gonna be doing.
You're gonna drill a big hole under I-35 and shove that pipe up in it.
Right.
Wow.
That's exactly what they're gonna do. I'll call them up. You know, when you go to disturbing sand and dirt out here, and it's not grass, these cattle have been on this place forever, for about 8 years now. You don't move them. You keep them right where they're supposed to be.
Oh man, that thing goes on and on, doesn't it?
Yeah, this look good, but it sure does.
And then it's not right up there, but you have to bring it back down.
Where does the water go when it floods?
I don't know how it gets through those cattails, but a lot of times it floods out and goes out in the pasture.
Yeah.
On that cow that's sick. You can see her right through here. She's fixing to walk out. You can see how she's got her ears pulled back.
Oh, I do see it.
And you can see the disposition she has in her. I don't know what's wrong with her, but this all come about when they first started this sand crap. And I don't really know what I can do for her until I get somebody out here to check her. Because you can see all these other cattle, their ears are forward. She's always got hers pulled back. You can tell she don't feel good. She don't feel good. She never has felt good.
Man.
Here, I won't hurt you. Yes, you can. This is our girl. It is our girl.
That's Missy.
This is Missy. Yeah, that feels good, don't it? That feels good. Yeah, that's Missy. You never have had it. You can't sit there and say a cow kicked you. But this girl don't do nothing.
Wow.
25 years old.
Wow.
Got a little swollen knee.
Don't look a day over 15.
Nope. But we take care of our cattle. They get their shots and everything. It's really disgusting. Really disgusting of how our government lets this happen. But then again, it's all about the money. Robert Stoll and the assistant city manager seen all this. They know all about this. They didn't say nothing. They just looked. across, if you look, there's not much water in here. It's full up. It's filled up with human feces. Yes, the Environmental Protection Agency and that says, oh, we can't do nothing about it. This needs to be shown to the public in what they're doing and how OTA is standing behind all this and doing all that pipeline and knowing this is here.
So who all has seen this?
When Curtis come out here, but was the manager out here?
City manager, Robert.
Was the mayor here?
I don't think so.
City manager of Moore.
Yeah. Robert Pistow was here,
With the water department.
and I think the assistant manager was here.
Yeah, I think three people came.
Main people with Robert.
Yeah.
And then Curtis took them all the way down through here telling them this never was like this when he had it.
Wow.
And it's all because they built that new plant and did away with a lot of them slush areas up there, and now they're just getting away with dumping it down here. And you can't tell me, you can go up there where they got some slush pits and look at the same stuff. Same very stuff. This barn was clean. This is the dust that filtrates in from their sand.
Oh man.
This tractor's been in here since it's ground made, and it's already got dust. It's already got the dust on it. This baler I cleaned 5 hours on. And if you put your hand up there, feel the grit still. Feel the grit.
Yuck.
You can't wash it because it will mess the bearings up on it. So I've just got to deal with it.
Man.
This tractor was covered. This tractor was covered with sand. And I finally got it halfway clean and put it in here. This is a $325,000 tractor I make payments to every year. But they don't care. Nobody cares. I'm going to walk you through it. This is where, over here where you see the trucks, this is where they're digging the water line in for more. Okay, this is the hay that was baled. Okay, we're going to go through this and you're going to see more of it. And then we're on the tractor. We're baling hay right now, and you'll see it here in a minute. Look at all the sand coming up out of that baler. Look at it. You don't see dirt coming out of there. When we bale hay at night, that's got dew on it. It don't come out of there. You can see it. It is unbelievable fogging out of there. Okay, so let's just go on over here. There's another video. Look at the sand coming out of there. That's right next to where they're digging. Do you not think that ain't going to wear the bearings out on that baler? And that hay is no good. None. None whatsoever. You can't sell that to horse people. You can see it coming out of there. Here I am raking close to it. Look at the sand coming out of them windrows. Look at it. And they were supposed to wet it. They never wetted it. You can see how close I was.
Wow.
Here's another one. I'm raking again down another row. This is terrible. And they never wet it. They never wet it. And I'm a good 200 feet away. You can see that, how far I am away from there. I'm still digging and getting sand out of the hay.
And so that's the stuff that's landing on the food your cows
Yeah,
are
that's
supposed
right.
to eat.
That alfalfa you just looked at
And
out there.
what you're supposed to bale up and
Right.
sell. And you're breathing it too.
You better believe it. This was raked at 7 in the morning. It had some dew on it, so you can see how dirty it was.
Man.
Because you have to rake alfalfa hay when it's got a little dew so you don't lose the leaves. So look at all the sand. This is the hay we baled. And right in here you can tell, you can see where we stacked the new, you can see where all this come in the barn and it blistered all this with sand. Wow. This is where they were dumping the sand when we had the windrows down, and they didn't bother about wetting any of this. This is where we were complaining because it was coming over on us. This is the trucks dumping the dirt when they did not have no water on it, period, end. This is them digging the pit out, and this is right next to our alfalfa. You can see the fence row. Here's where we cut the hay, and this is where he's loading, and the wind's blowing. You can see how green this was compared to when we raked it, okay? You can see the dirt on it. There you go.
Wow.
See the sand coming out from underneath there? You can see it fogging. I mean, it ain't fogging a little bit. I'm not doing it justice because I didn't zoom in on it, but it's getting it, and you'll get it here in just a minute because he comes back through and I get it again. See, it's not real green, it's dinged brown. If you know anything about coloration, it's dinged brown. When he cut it, this is the way it looked, but it's brown when they got done hauling, and you can see the dust coming up, and it looks not bad, but it is. It's big time. Look at it coming out from underneath there.
Wow.
There shouldn't be no sand in that. Should be none. None. Look at it. And we can't sell it. We can't sell it, people. We can't sell it. I don't know what to do with them. I don't know how to fight them. All I got to do is I'm going to call the agriculture people out, and I'm going to call the vet here in just a few minutes, state vet, that I got her number, and I'm going to say, I need somebody out here. There's got to be a protocol on all the pathogens that are blowing in the air that they're digging up out of the soil. This has got to stop. And if it takes them wearing rubber boots and stuff like we did at OG&E and suits, they're just going to have to do it. They're going to have to wash their trucks and stuff off. Because this right now, I'm already contaminated.
Is that like the biohazard,
Yep.
biosafety protocols?
Yep. And I used to do that. And you know what? You washed your trucks off, you cleaned them up, and you went through three different three different rock areas and washing your trucks off. And your men had to wear their suits and stuff, and maybe that's what we need to start doing out here. But guys, I'm already contaminated. This farm's contaminated. We're done.